Let's take a look at Iowa. This is our last one we're going to look at. And then I do want to talk a little bit about just the Iowa team and who they are this season. They gave Creighton a good game, took them down. Creighton eventually won by 8, but in this tournament they did split it 1-1. They lost to Oklahoma, but they did beat Seton Hall. So I think there's some good things. I think there's some bad things. A little bit of everything to look at here with this Iowa team. But I think also this is just kind of a Fran McCaffery team. I don't know if they're doing anything super different from what they normally are. They got good freshmen, so the future's bright. Frank, what are your thoughts on the Iowa Hawkeyes?
Yeah, I think you said it when you said this is a typical Fran McCaffery team, right? All offense and struggling on the defensive end for sure. I mean, Ben, is it Krikke? I've heard it pronounced multiple ways. Ben Krikke's been great for them. Transferred in from Valparaiso, is averaging 18.3 points per game, 124 offensive rating. I mean, I don't think anyone expected that. He is 1 for 2 from 3 on the season. I'm curious to see how good of a shooter he is, but really when you're putting up 18 points a game, that's not really a concern. You're getting it done one way or another. Sandfort, he's no stranger to anyone who follows Big Ten basketball. He's putting up a respectable 15. Tony Perkins, 11.5. He's a veteran who's been around for a long time. But with the typical Fran McCaffery team, being a lot of offense and limited defense, there's always the games like they're good for like 2 or 3, maybe sometimes 4 upsets in a season. And Iowa is a team right now that just terrifies me because they're a team that can catch fire from 3. The one thing that's impressive about them too is they take care of the basketball. They're only 4th. They have the 4th lowest turnover percentage in college basketball right now. They're an experienced team, a senior-led team, and they're a team that is going to really make some noise. They're going to really shake up the Big Ten standings, I think, and I fear that it might be against Purdue, unfortunately.
I mean, it's always possible whenever you have the offensive output that somebody like Iowa has. I know I was talking a lot about Michigan like that, but you're right. I think that the senior leadership is here more with Iowa. They have really good freshmen, but they have that senior leadership they need to make those things happen and to really shake things up. I think the biggest thing with Fran McCaffery teams is they're always able to beat you, but they're never able, in my mind at least, they're never able to be that consistent team who's going to win the tournament or who's going to make it to the Elite Eight or the Final Four or anything like that because they just rely on their offense so much. I don't know if they can put it together for 3-4 games in a row against really tough teams.
And historically, they're never out of a game either.
Right.
You can be up 15 against a Fran McCaffery team and blink, and then it's a 3-point game every time. But you're absolutely right, and that unfortunately, you don't expect them to make a deep tournament run or win the conference, but. Any given night, their ability to upset anybody is pretty high. I feel like higher than in any Big Ten team that we've seen recently.
And it's the nature of their game. Like these upsets aren't even. It's the most drastic upsets there are.
Yeah.
Like their ability. I mean, Iowa gonna Iowa. That's just how it is. They can look like world beaters one night when all their shots are falling, and they look flat as hell if they aren't.
Well, it was like last year against Ohio State was the team that broke their 12-game losing streak or something like that. And everybody thought, oh, Ohio State's back. And then no, you go on a 6-game losing streak after. Sorry, Bert, go ahead.
No, it is. It's just the nature of this program. It's so wild that he can do it year after year without a letdown, and just how they are the identity of the squad remains constant. No matter what brothers you're throwing out there, it remains constant. Like
I like
in a night where they are converting 17% on threes, like they were in that Oklahoma game, they stand a next to absolute 0 chance of winning that game. But I mean, on top of that, like the most punchable face in this conference, Payton Sandfort, when he's going over on the night, good luck, Iowa.
Does Iowa have the record for most punchable faces year in and year out? Because I always heard people say that about Jordan Bohannon.
Yeah, I mean, Payton Sandfort, I said this on my podcast. I was like, Payton, if the Cold War was on the line and Payton Sandfort had a step in the ring with Ivan Drago, I would have to root for Ivan Drago. I just cannot stand that kid. And then it's with Krikke, it has been against this competition. I am interested to see once the brutal nature of Big Ten play gets into it, how his game translates there. And then I just wanted to end this saying in full transparency, This is the one head that Mike Woodson still has to collect out of the Big Ten. We have yet to beat Iowa. So Iowa is a sore subject for me.
There you go, Iowa fans. That's your compliment. After
there you go. Yeah, you guys have our number, but God, you have some punchable faces.
You know what? It's kind of a compliment because you only hate people that are good, right? You're not going to be like, oh, I can't stand,
it's somewhere in the brain next to love. It's somewhere in the brain next to love.
Yeah. So Iowa fans, we're saying some good things about you. It just might not sound too nice. Frank, you got your buddy here, Dylan. Hey, I know that Frank guy. Dude's got a big old brain. And some may say the Boiler Express podcast has some punchable faces. So I guess they got the most punchable faces in the big banter sports. But I think this Iowa team, like I said, the tournament thing, watch them this year make a deep run in the tournament and make me eat my words, because it's going to happen at some point. There's going to be a year where they get hot in the tournament and they make an Elite Eight and challenge for the Final Four, something like that. I just don't think that they're built to do that year in and year out and make those things happen. So
I'm going to drop an unplanned question just for fun, really quick. Over under 4.5. Do we see Fran Khan come out this season? How many times? You're going to take the under or the over?
It happens almost more than that every season. So
I think this stands to be his most frustrating season. And he doesn't have a Murray.
Yeah,
I'm taking the over there.
If he can stare down another ref, that's what I want to see.
That was hilarious.
That was all time.
That was just classic.
Oh my God.
I don't know who was more uncomfortable, him or the ref, but yeah.
Oh my God. Or just everybody watching at home. I think that had to be it.
Was it him or the ref that stepped forward? I think he stepped forward, didn't he?
I think he did, and the ref did not care at all. Yeah, just stared right back. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh man, I love and I hate Fran at the same time.
Yeah. Again, just a very punchable face in this on this team.
All right.
God, you love to hate that guy.
Yeah, you do. Thanks for listening to the Big Ten Huddle. Please do like and subscribe. We appreciate that. If this was your first time listening, we are the Big Ten Huddle. We cover all things Big Ten football and basketball. We have a long episode every Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night, all at 9 o'clock. So come in, check us out, get in the chat, let us know what you're thinking. We would love to have you join us and learn more about the Big Ten.